Hello and welcome to Knights of the Roll Table, Fur and Feathers, a Humblewood one-shot. My name is Chris Daly. I am the Dungeon Master for this one-shot special episode, part 2 of this, to be specific. Humblewood is a 5th edition compatible campaign setting where you have lots of new races and classes, and you basically are playing as birdfolk or forest creatures, walking around and interacting with each other, and it's a lot of fun, and we thought it was very charming, and the art is amazing, so I definitely recommend you check it out. Check out thedeckofmany.com for information on how to get the Humblewood campaign, and they have a lot of really cool accessories to go with it as well. Please listen to part 1 of this, otherwise this part 2 is going to be a little bit different. We also want to thank David Armstrong for playing with us. He's one of our good friends that jumped in during this. He's in New York and we are in San Diego, so it was really cool to have him play with us as well. Just a warning for this episode, a little ways in, I'm not going to say exactly where, we lost a section of the audio, so be prepared that there will be a little section that is just not there, and I will come in and explain what we missed during that time, and then we'll pick it up right where we left off. So, hey, we're just learning. We're learning about recording in being separated from each other, and we thank you guys again for listening and supporting the podcast. And without further ado, Fur and Feathers, a Humblewood one-shot, part 2! So you guys are outside of the Bandit stronghold in the Crest Mountains. Through the mist, you see these stone towers. You know that getting in here will be a challenge. Just for the sake of time, you do a little bit of staking out the place. After about an hour, there's a wagon cart that goes by, and this big drawbridge comes down, and then it goes through the drawbridge and then it comes back up. And you sense that there's probably some sort of regular deliveries that are coming from up from the road on the other side of the mountain that you did not traverse. Next to the drawbridge, there is a small door, which people can go through, not wagons.
Nope, there's a map.
Okay, so take a look at the map. This is the outer stronghold. So you guys can see that basically all you're going to really see is walls. You can't see anything on the inside, but just pretend. And you can see that there's a gate, and then next to the gate to the right, there is a little door which people are able to go through. There's no one currently outside, but you can see through the parapets on the upper walls. There's a couple of people that you can see, kind of shadows, walking back and forth, kind of keeping guard. Every once in a while you see a little face poke out, but you guys are too obscured by the crags for anybody to see you. What would you guys like to do? How would you like to try to enter the
What does it look like the people that are looking out of the parapets are looking at? Are they checking the walls? Are they checking the ground?
They're not really checking too hard for anything. They're just kind of doing their job. They're making their rounds. There's a couple on each side, and from what you can see, because they're a little bit obscured from your angle, they're just kind of looking out, making seeing if anybody's coming up the road, looking for deliveries.
Clearly, I will be playing the role of the bandit captain. I'll take the short sword.
Yeah, I say we all go in as bandits. We hijack one of those carts and make.
Okay, I will be a bandit.
I want to take a look at the brooch and the bronze ring that I had gotten earlier. Do they have any roses on them? Do they look like they maybe bandit
yeah.
looking at all?
Okay, so yeah, we'll say that like during your rest time, either back in Alderheart or now, or like when you guys took a little rest earlier, the ring is just a ring. It's a very fine ring. It's studded with rubies, and it's worth, if you sold it, you could probably get about 400 gold for it.
Wow.
Mine.
Guys, let's go
Why are
home.
we even doing this?
Let's go do that.
I tried
but
to say
it's
that
also
earlier.
it's also stolen, and
But like, how stolen?
and
Like third
Aren't
base.
you a paladin?
Well, like, I'm not. Like, Ethel is, but I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Is there like
okay.
a if lost return to blank engraving on it, or
There is
it
not.
just like okay,
The
so
brooch.
if somebody asks for it, we can return it.
The brooch. From what you can tell, can it go ahead and make a Arcana check?
Uh-oh.
If you want, Corax has the ability. He has an appraising eye ability. Can appraise objects and determine any magical properties the item has, how they could be used or activated, as well as a fair estimation of market price.
You
I'll
probably know that about Corax.
Okay, I only rolled a 3 on Arcana, so I'll go ahead and show Korvac. And say, what do you think of this? Corax, I'm sorry.
So
All right.
Corax takes a look at it and discovers that it is a brooch of shielding.
ooh.
It's a brooch of shielding.
You should be able to look that up in your item inventory.
I mean,
I'll
or
let
you can
you-
sell it as well. It probably has a lot of money too.
Or brooch, apparently. I don't know how to spell.
Brooch, that's correct.
Yeah, brooch.
Brooch, got it.
You have resistance to force damage, and you have immunity to damage magic missile spell.
Sorry, Ereth, make a just make a straight intelligence check.
Oh, good. Okay. 6.
It might be hard to put together what the operations of this camp are, but in your bandit camp, when you were part of this,
Mm-hmm.
when you were part of the bandits, you definitely got deliveries, and they got one in the middle of the day, and they got one at night. So you don't know if this is the same kind of delivery schedule. With some talk with Corax, who said he was actually a member of the bandits a while ago as well,
Oh.
you guys determined that there's probably at least one more delivery. You do see the wagon leave empty and kind of head back down the hill. So you assume that maybe another delivery, if another delivery shows up, it might not be till later at night.
Well, we could wait for the next one. It's probably not going to be here until nightfall, but I mean, unless
There's one
any of you
here
have a
right
better
now.
idea of how to get in there.
Let's get them.
I'd be fine with that.
I am ready.
The delivery's not in view of the fortress yet.
Well, I mean, right now you're in a place where you can see the fortress and you can also see the delivery. In order to get to a place where you could see the wagon and the fortress would be out of view, you'd have
Yeah.
to double back on the road a little bit. Not the path you came up, but the actual road that is kind of coming up the other side of the mountain. So you could probably sneak to the road and go back and not be seen by the parapets. The
So
guards on the
I would
parapets.
propose we want to sneak down and do that and try out our bandit captain route by going and meeting them and say like, "My captain, we'll take it from here."
All right.
My instinct was to say that like, oh, there's a sickness at the fortress, but that seems in poor taste. So we're just gonna
Okay.
go down and halt them as a bandit captain and crew.
You're gonna
So we're gonna sneak down there out of view of the fortress and ask the wagon to stop because we're partially using this to see if the fortress is likely to buy our like disguises as a bandit captain and bandit. But we're also going to try to use that ruse to tell the crew of the delivery, like, we'll take it from here, we're gonna unload, and whenever that inevitably goes bad, we'll attack them.
All right. Okay. So
I
everybody.
agree with this plan.
So and
So we're putting on the bandit clothes.
So you put on the bandit uniforms that you have been given, and everybody sneaks over to the side of the road, and you make your way back. You're far enough away where I'm not going to make you do stealth checks. You wait until nightfall, and sure enough, right about dusk, you see and you kind of hear the wagon wheels of another cart coming up, drawn by some horses, and they are getting close to you, and you guys are in the road.
Here, Warbles, take the brooch.
So I would say maybe me and one other person will go out in the middle of the road, and everybody else will be hidden in ambush.
I am just going to say that I am not very comfortable with lying.
As a former bandit myself, I would be happy to help.
I'll stay with you, Ethel.
That sounds nice.
All right, so Ethel
Okay.
and
Corax is gonna come with
Desdemona
me?
are going to be off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to stand there looking intimidating.
Well, so I'm saying all but two of us should just like hide and be ready to ambush.
Oh, I'll put my head in the sand.
Perfect. I'll never find you. All right, I'll say.
The terrain being rocky, you knock yourself out and wake up the next.
Hey, at least I get a short rest.
Stand in the middle and halt. Hold it right there. Let's have a look at your goods.
Hi, we have a delivery for the stronghold. Are you guys? What? I mean, are you guys stopping to check? I mean, they usually do that inside.
Yeah, we need to take it. The general is in a mood, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
You
right.
don't want to go in there. We'll look at it here, make sure everything checks.
Well, yeah, I understand. I mean, I've seen her in a mood before. Warbles, make a persuasion check. I mean, I don't know. What? It's kind of. What's your name?
Warbles. Bandit captain of the Northeast crew. I heard of Warbles?
No,
The
I've
Death
never.
Squad?
I haven't seen any. Are you a birdfolk?
Duh.
I haven't seen any
Yeah.
birdfolk in this camp before. Who's that with you?
We're an elite spy crew. You can't fight against the bird people without any bird people on your side.
My
So,
name's
as we're
Corax. I
Yeah,
was
that's throwback.
I'm a lookout.
Okay, why aren't you looking out up on the tower then?
Looking
The
out for
other
you.
lookouts are looking out at the tower. What do we see in terms of like how many people are there? Is it just him? Is he armed?
So he's sitting on a wagon, and then on the back of the wagon, you see there's two other figures that kind of have they're sort of sitting on the back, but you can't really see them because there's a covered tarp that's covering some stuff.
Look,
And he's like,
earlier.
hey boys, go and check them out.
Look, earlier a wagon arrived and it was clearly full of people who were not supposed to be. We have been sent down to ensure that the right crew gets inside. You guys
Yeah.
just turn around, head back in. We'll take the wagon, the rest of the.
You know, that's interesting because that's exactly what somebody that is not part of this crew would say. And you see these two wolf-looking guys, Vulpins that are dark gray with some white tuft ears. They're wearing black and gray and sort of purples, and they're coming towards you. And they have their hands on their scabbards, and they're coming towards you guys. Let's see your weapons.
All right.
Looks like we've got some troublemakers, Captain.
Yeah, you know what? It's gonna have to go this way. If you don't believe us, and I say attack, and then I stab somebody.
So you attack and you stab somebody. All right. Both of you get a surprise round.
We
Or not
can't
surprise.
jump out of the bushes and surprise them as
Yeah.
well.
So I'm gonna say everybody gets a surprise attack action. Give
Dope.
you one action. 13 will hit. Go ahead and give me some damage.
10.
All right. He is knocked unconscious. Corax,
All right.
what are you doing?
All right, I'm gonna attack the other one. 17 to
Hits.
5, and then this 7 damage.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna lunge forward with my ostrich speed and go with my feet just like boom, 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 and then swing my great sword at the closest one to me.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack.
That's 23 to hit.
Okay, hold on a sec with your damage. Ereth and Desdemona, what are you doing?
I'll jump out too and get someone.
Okay.
Whoever.
Do you want to go after the driver who has not
Yes.
been?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Go after the driver. Roll an attack.
14.
14 hits. Okay, and then Desdemona, what? Hold off on the damage for a second. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Desdemona's gonna fire her crossbow, but it goes wide and she misses.
Okay.
7 to hit. Yeah.
All right. I will say between the 5 of you, and there's only 3 of them, and just to save a little time, you're with the sneaky action round. You knocked one of them unconscious, and you're able to knock the other one out pretty quickly. The other one tries to surrender, and even though the crossbow bolt goes wide, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. It's fine. I give up. Take the wagon. I don't care. I'm just a delivery guy."
He like sticks in the wood next to him, twang.
And he
All
kinda
right,
backs up.
cool. I like your style. Thank you. We're gonna take your
It's
stuff
just
now.
it's just a bunch of root vegetables, just like carrots and potatoes. It's not worth
Great.
me dying. Okay.
You want one? You can have a little of this if you want.
I mean, I really like zucchini. There's some
I'll
zucchini
have
in the
some
back.
zucchini.
Vegetables are very important.
I mean,
Give him some zucchini.
Oh, there's also some summer squash. Do you guys like summer squash?
Ooh, what a
I like summer
refreshing
squash. You want a
treat.
couple of these? Let's
I mean,
switch out a few of these.
I can't really carry that. If I'm gonna head back down the mountain on foot,
You know,
I
for
don't
all
wanna
of
get
the bad things that
We'll just
there
take a
are,
couple. Put a zucchini in
for
your pocket.
Frey, at least she is keeping her bandits well cared for with this nice array of vegetables.
Yeah, it's well balanced. So listen, is there any code words or anything we need for this?
oh yeah. I mean, the code word changes every night, so or every day. So the code word for today was barometer.
Do I believe him?
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
5.
18.
Ooh.
Corax, you believe he's a little scared, and there's not much reason for him to lie. So he seems
we
pretty.
gave him summer squash. Why
and
would
he
he
did
lie?
give him summer squash, so I mean he seems like he's telling the truth because he doesn't want to die over vegetables.
All
You
right,
don't
let's
wanna
knock
die
him
over
out, tie him up,
vegetables.
and let's go.
You tie him up?
Let's knock him out, tie him up, and let's go.
No,
Nope.
I don't tie me up. I
He's
just want to walk
fine.
down the mountain.
Fine. No, I stop him. Don't.
Alright.
He's good. He's our bud. All right, you head off. Just walk in the other direction.
Thank you. I'm gonna take my summer squash and I'm gonna leave. So
Walk slow.
okay, I'll walk real slow. I'm just gonna take this. Thank you so much. Have a good night. And he just walks off.
You too. Take care.
He walks
Make
down the
better
mountain.
decisions in your life. Bye.
Okay, I will. The other two are
Ooh.
unconscious, but you bind them up and
Get them off the
you
road so they're not
you-
visible.
make you jump on the wagon. Do all of you want to be sitting on the wagon, or do some of you want to hide, or take the wagon in? Who's going to be driving?
Desdemona will hide in the back.
I
under
can
a
drive
sheet.
the wagon.
I'll sit next to the driver because I'm a bandit captain, and we can have 2 guards on the back like they have.
I'll drive.
So I will say, Corax and Ereth, you know, as former bandits, Ereth especially as a humble folk, you know that these guys don't take really well to birdfolk. There are very few spies in the Bandit Coalition, and those that are there are mostly like they have to be really vetted in. So it's a risk to be seen as a birdfolk going in here.
All right. I want to disguise myself as a humble folk.
Okay.
And then I think Ereth and I should ride up front, and everyone else should hide.
I too have a disguise kit.
Oh, there we go. We got
Oh. I
multiple
like it.
disguises. All right,
I like
then
that.
in that case, we should disguise Warbles, and then I will be the guard in the back, and the other two should hide.
Yes.
Ereth, do you want to be the bandit captain?
I mean, you've got a disguise kit. I mean, I'll do it. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, disguising myself as not a bird is going to be, thin at best. So
Well,
Probably
let
should
me
be you.
know. Here's what we're gonna do. So let me know what, keeping in mind what kind of bird folk you are. Let me know what kind of humble folk you would like to try to convince. What kind of humble folk you would like to try to disguise yourself as, and then we're gonna roll to see how well you do it.
all right. Well, so I don't have like a giant beak or anything. So if
I
I put on
do.
like a hood, I could probably pass.
You have hoods.
Mhm.
There's vulpins, which are kind of like foxes. There's mopocks, which are like raccoons.
Alright, based
Gerbines,
on-
which are short mouse folk. There's hedges, and there's servans, which are sort of like deer hooved creatures.
Based on my height and my beak, I think a servant would be the thing that I would most likely be able to actually appear as. Put a little deer muzzle over it. and Hood.
Okay, which will say that being a disguise kit master, you probably have a little like fake. This is essentially the reverse of Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood, like the fox turning into a
Exactly.
bird. Except it's a bird turning into a fox. A little deer.
Yeah, I mean, I'll depend mostly on the hood, but do some disguise work to just be whatever's closest in size to me. Maybe
Okay.
the mouse folk.
You're probably bigger than them, but you could probably dress
You're
up as a mopok.
I'm a Loomis.
He's a Luma.
So I could be
He's-
one of the raccoon mopok.
My pock, your pock, anybody's pock.
I'll be a mopok.
All right, so he's dressing up like a raccoon.
Stripes everywhere.
The rest of you are
Bandit
hiding
mask.
in the back, and you make your way in this cart up to the drawbridge, and you hear a voice from the top yell, "Who goes there?"
Oh, it's the evening delivery.
All right, what's the password?
Barometer.
Right, okay. Let him in, boys. And you hear, and you see the parapet or the drawbridge come down. It's a iron portcullis raises up, and then your door is open. So you make your way in, kind of roll over the drawbridge, and then you come into the inside of the stronghold on the outer, kind of the outer gates. So you see a couple things. To your right, you see a building off to the side, which is probably some barracks. You see a couple of barrels and some stairs that go up to the lookout towers. To your left, you see a couple more barrels and crates. You see a couple of practice dummies, and there's a captain that's running some recruits over like target practice, shooting some arrows and javelins. There's another building off to the left in the kind of far left corner, and then the path of the wagons goes straight up to the right in the far wall, where there's two big doors that are guarding something that go into the very mountain itself. It's some sort of inner stronghold that you see here. You can see the wagon tracks kind of go forward, and there's a lot of like turning around. They tend to probably drop off their delivery and then go right out after that. So you guys go up to where it looks like other goods have been delivered earlier in the day. And what would you like to do? Everybody kind of notices you, but they don't really make a big deal out of it. They're like, yeah, it's another delivery. No one seems to be suspicious as of yet.
Captain.
So I would maybe whisper to Ereth, like, where would the general be?
He'd be pretty far inside, I think. Maybe you figure it out as the captain. I'll start unloading stuff from the cart.
Okay.
I thought
Right.
you're the captain.
Oh, did we
Don't unload.
Oh shit! All right. You go unload stuff, man.
Say you have a message for the general.
Yes. All right. I look for the person who's like looks like they're in charge of this docking station
All right.
area.
You see off to the side, another hedge actually comes over to you and says, "Oh, what you got today? More powders and mixes and spices and stuff."
Oh yeah, a lot of usual stuff. Some vegetables, some fresh vegetables, very
Ooh,
tasty.
what kind?
Oh, I mean, we got some zucchini, carrots. Is that a bunch of a lot of peas? Always a lot of peas.
Peas. All right.
Oh,
Well,
it's summer squash. Fresh
let me-
summer squash.
Oh, okay. Well, let me let the captain know. Captain, and then you see from the left barracks, a Vulpan
Uh-oh.
female fox
Uh-oh.
walks out, and it is Frey Meridian, and she walks out, kind of picking at her teeth a little bit.
And I,
She said-
I like pull
she
up.
says-
I pull up a piece of cloth here and pull the hat down, captain's hat. Yes.
She says-
"Hello, Captain. Hello.
Yes, is it the delivery?
It is. We also have a message for the general, though.
She comes over to you about 10 feet away. What's the message? I can tell her.
No, can't. It was told to me to be delivered personally. I can't deliver it to another person.
What's wrong with your face?
Oh, it's just I'm a little under the weather.
Oh, well.
Don't want to get you sick.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Yeah, I still have disadvantage. Uh-oh. No, I still have disadvantage from the point of exhaustion. But
Is he within arm's reach of the wagon of the cart?
Yeah, he's
Yoink.
right next to the cart.
I'm gonna stick my hand out and cast guidance.
Okay.
Him in the back real quick.
All right.
Stick my hand
Make
back.
make a sleight of hand check to make sure.
oh no.
Oh no. But
Make
I
a
have
sleight of hand check,
disadvantage.
and you have disadvantage at that.
Oh.
First guidance on you, then sleight of hand check.
Yeah, I guidance on
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Guidance on
This is a
I'm just
pyramid
gonna
scheme.
guidance everybody. Guidance. Oh boy. Oh, 6 on my sleight of hand.
Oh no.
All right, hold on.
I feel like I would have been okay because I have proficiency for deception. So I could have rolled.
Never
even
mind.
at disadvantage.
Scratch it all.
So, on her perception check, Frey rolled a natural 1.
Woo!
So she does not see you. The little bird hand reach out from under the vegetable tarp and tap on the back. You kind of are in a blind spot, and so you get guidance. So now roll your deception check.
And you
And
can
that's
add a D4.
That's a D4. Okay. 6. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So 12. So but it's disadvantage. 6.
6. Okay.
Plus my deception is 9. Plus the
Ooh.
guidance is 11. So
Okay.
plus 2.
That's average.
That's not too bad.
Oh. So Frey looks at you and says, "All right, well, take care of yourself." And then she turns around.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you. Thank you, Captain.
She rolled a 6 on her
Oh.
insight check.
Oh, Captain.
Corax hops down to help start
So-
unloading, and he whispers over to Ereth, "You're a captain too."
Oh, yes. Thank you, fellow Captain. Colleague.
All right, so the cart will not go inside of the inner stronghold, but you can get it kind of close. Everyone's kind of the other people in the courtyard are, doing some target practice. There's about like 14 or 15 other people. There's about 7 people doing target practice with a captain. There's some people there's the people that are walking back and forth doing things, looking out. So what do you guys want to do?
So I can cast invisibility on one person.
Okay.
Do it on the bigger one.
That still leaves one person who is in no way disguised who needs
That's
to
fine.
get in too.
We'll carry the other one in at a time, as if it is a delivery, which I
The
believe would be
giant-
Jet. which I think would be Desdemona. I think
Alright.
you're the smaller of the two.
She can fold
Although
her neck.
Secretary Birds,
it's still very tall.
All right,
Secretary
so-
Birds and ostriches are both huge.
That's very true.
I'll cast invisibility on Desdemona.
Okay, so Desdemona is invisible.
I guess I could actually cast it twice.
Let's
All my
do
level 2
that.
spells. All right, I will also cast invisibility on Ethel.
Okay.
We just have these two
Probably
invisible
should've done
giant
that
birds
before.
following us.
I can't see my fingers.
Actually, I don't know if I can
God.
do that because it's a concentration spell. Do you think I could concentrate on 2 invisibilities at the same time?
Does it say at a higher level you can do it
Yeah,
on more than
well,
one person?
at a higher level, I could do it twice for sure, but I don't have higher level spell slots.
Then no.
All right, never
You
mind
do it
about
on
that.
one person. One
Back
person.
to plan A, so casting invisibility on Desmer, and we're going to carry Ethel in a basket of fruit.
All right, you and I are gonna have to do
Are
that
there-
one together. Or
are there
it's not
any-
gonna happen.
Are there any like containers in the wagon that are big enough to fit her in?
There are sacks of vegetables.
All right,
And
we reallocate.
they seem to be pretty big. If a person hunkered down, they might be able to fit inside of the sack.
She's mostly legs and neck. She could fit in there.
All right, we reallocate the vegetable out of one of the larger sacks into other sacks and crates, and then gently put Ethel into that sack.
Wait, I don't understand because I'm bigger than Desdemona. Like, why wouldn't you invisible?
I would say have the crossbow ready to just have it be ready
Right?
anytime.
Okay,
How
crossbow's
big
ready.
is a secretary bird?
I'm an ostrich.
Yeah, secretary birds are.
The largest bird. Fine. Revamp.
No, ostriches are bigger, for sure.
Yeah, you're right. Secretary birds are really big, though.
All right, you're an
They're
invisible
tall.
ostrich. Desdemona, get in the basket. Bag.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right. Desdemona gets in the basket. Ethel
gonna
is
die.
invisible. The three of the rest of you are dressed in your bandit outfits. I need let's see. Ereth, Corax, and Warbles to make stealth checks.
Oh, good. Something I
Oh,
can actually
no.
do.
Or actually, I'm going to let you choose. I'm going to say you can make a stealth check to do what you're doing very stealthily, or you can make a performance check to make it very convincing.
Stealth for me.
Like, I'm taking out a sack so well.
All right, let's see what I get.
It doesn't matter to me, so I'll do stealth since Corax doing stealth.
14 stealth for me.
Okay,
17 stealth.
great.
13 stealth.
13. All right.
Don't mind us, just this
You
bag
guys
of.
kind of go to that. There's this one this one servant that comes up, kind of a deer looking with some antlers, and he's like, "What you got in that bag?"
Surprise for the general.
Great. All right. And he kind of walks away. All right. So you guys head in
Good
towards the inner stronghold, and I'm going to send you a map of what you see.
Oh.
There's a skateboard on the ceiling. I can't actually see it.
So what you see as you go in on the bottom of the image there's these two big double doors. You go inside there, and let's say everybody makes it in, and you see to your left there is a door, and then to your right there is a door that is slightly open, kind of up and to the right, and in front of you is a sign that just has some birdfolk or humblefolk kind of scratch on it. And it says, meeting room, events planned, talk about infiltration of avium and other things.
Do crimes.
do
bad
stuff.
things.
Did a bad
So you can go
thing.
left or right.
Ereth.
Yeah, you would have been here the most recently, so.
Ereth has never been here.
Yeah, I've never been here.
Oh.
Use
Only
your
heard
bandit
about it.
instinct. Think
All
like
right.
a captain.
Sure. Well,
Ask someone.
I would put the important rooms on the left. Is there anybody here to ask?
There's no one in the immediate foyer as kind of what you're in.
Is there some sort of sign on each of the doors?
There's just a sign in front, the thing that kind of looks like a board with two posts behind it,
Uh-huh.
that just says like the daily itinerary.
Hmm.
The doors
I
were
would-
closed, or was one open?
One of them to the right is open.
I'll sneak over there and peek in.
Okay.
Stealth.
Um,
Wow.
Who's
Make
carrying me?
Well, you can still be carried if you want, or you can get out of the bag.
I'm just asking who's
At
carrying
the
me.
at the moment, we have placed you on the ground,
Okay.
but I believe that that Warbles
and I would
and
have been.
I are carrying you.
So they put
Well-
you down, and you're free to get out if you want. But
Yeah.
I guess I'll get out.
Ethel is still invisible. How long does invisibility?
I think it's an hour with concentration.
Okay.
Yes.
Or until she makes an action, right?
Yeah.
Or until she like strikes somebody or does something
Yeah.
to reveal it. Okay. So Ethel, you're still invisible right now. You made a stealth check.
So, boom, 15.
All right. You peek your head kind of in the door as much as you can see. This seems to be an infirmary of some kind. You see a couple of beds, and there are two Mapok and one Gerbine that are lying down on the beds. They seem to be asleep.
We stabbed him. No, never mind. We just leave him. I come back. Slit that throat. I'll back out and like quietly pull the door closed, not all the way so it would like make any noise, but just pull it closed a little bit if they're all asleep, and then point to the other door.
Okay. So you guys go over to the other door.
I'll open it.
All right. You check it. It is locked.
Oh.
On it. I'll attempt to unlock the.
Be
All
my
right.
guest.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
You got it. I can't read that. 17.
17. That is enough to unlock the door.
Let's use this handy key that I have here.
All right. So you're able to get in there. What you see inside, and there's nobody in. But this is an armory, and it actually has a few different weapons and some shields, and some different small rack of weapons, an armor rack, and there's some bags of assorted treasure. Just a couple of like silver and pieces of gold. Nothing too much.
Yoink.
In this, let's see, there's a small box filled with assorted precious jewelry. Among them is a necklace of polished shells and pearls, which looks like it would be worth quite a bunch. And there's also a gold ring with inlaid pearl. And there's some various baubles and things like that. And you have a feeling that this is a good amount of treasure that's been stolen. There's also a couple of paintings. One of them is of the mock fields, and the other one is a sunrise behind the alderheart tree. And these also paintings would probably, have been stolen from higher ups. There's a couple of crossbows sitting next to a quiver of bolts, a longsword, and a halberd that's used by the perch guard. And
So
there's a full suit of scale mail on the armor rack.
Ooh.
We should see if we can get these back to their original owners.
No.
Yeah.
We should take what we need and keep going.
Everybody come inside. So I want to see if we can get everybody inside and close the door so that I could ritual cast detect magic and see if there's any magic items.
Ooh, good
Okay,
idea.
so everybody comes inside. You cast detect magic. There is no magic coming from any of the weapons or treasure.
Well, I relay that. It's a 30-foot 30-foot radius. I think it stays if you sense magic.
I'm going to.
Oh, actually, so that'll continue for 10 minutes, like around me, if we cross
Okay.
anything else magical.
Sure.
All right, so we take the expensive-looking stuff. No, there's no
Mhm.
magic items. If anybody
Okay.
needs a weapon,
Pocket.
So, right above where the armory was, there's a kind of a small hallway, and you see another door that is shut. That's outside of the armory, but it's right kind of above. You can see on the map, it's right above there. There's a little hallway, and there's another door that's shut.
can we lock the door behind us?
Sure.
The door we opened?
Well, yeah, you can. I'll say that you
Okay.
you definitely can. With
And then
Corax is up.
Corax.
Sorry, I want to say Corvax so bad.
That's what everyone else is saying. Corax
Um,
is the family
Mutton.
name for a raven.
Okay,
Corvid
Corax.
Corax.
Okay.
Ooh.
so we check the next door. I have
All
thieves'
right.
tools too. We're gonna have a look-see for traps.
Or species name.
Okay, look for traps. Let's have a perception check.
12.
Ooh, 12. That's a fun roll. You don't
Mm.
think there's any traps.
I don't like it when the DM says things like that.
Yeah.
Fun.
Ooh, that's fun.
So,
I don't
as
think
you
there's
check,
any traps.
the door kind of goes, and it goes open. So you enter into the biggest of the rooms that you've seen so far, which is some sort of a meeting room. There are some pretty long tables going down the center, one on the left and the right side. Lots of storage crates on the back walls, and there's a little bit of a shorter but still long table in the back with a kind of a big throne chair. There's various plates and platters that are left there with utensils, a couple of like little napkin towels and things like that are on there. And then you see in the back corner, there are 2 bandits that are guarding another door, and they look at you.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Have you all seen the general?
General's in a room. She's sleeping.
Oh well, I hate to wake her up. I know that she gets into one of her moods, but we have a very important message, and I must deliver it to the general personally.
What's the password?
The password.
barometer.
I mean, it must be right. Barometer.
Well, that's the outer password, dummy. What's the inner
Oh.
password?
Right. Hey, take it easy. I am a captain, so let's show a little bit of respect here.
I've
Thank
never
you.
seen you before.
Oh, I've never
I-
seen you before.
Negotiations have gone south.
I want to speak to your manager.
In my
Oh.
invisibleness, I want to run up and I want to smack him.
Okay.
As she does that, I also have an action.
Okay.
When I see her go. Well, I wouldn't see her go.
So Ethel first is going to make an attack.
Mhm. Why not? I mean, it's
Sure.
just the 2 of them, right? With us in this room, right?
As far as you can tell.
Cool. Yeah, I just like Ethel's been cooped in the back of a cargo thing, and these are
Yeah.
bad people. So she's gonna run up and swing on him.
Okay.
And give me a sec. Oh. That was a nat 1.
Oh, God.
Oh. So
I hate my dice tonight, you guys. This is
the Mockpock bandit that's looking at Ereth just sees this nothing and feels kind of a whiff, and then sees a sword kind of hit the ground, and all of a sudden, kind of appearing is this giant ostrich holding a great sword in front, and Ethel looks at him like right in front of it.
Look
What
out! It's a birdfolk. Look out!
The other one draws its crossbow and it says, "What the?" And then, okay, now
Wait.
Warbles, you get your turn.
So
You
I
get
want
your
to
surprise.
I want to cast silence on this, which is a radius sphere, which I'm going to use to kind of cover a little bit of the radius like maybe 5 feet of the radius is towards us, and the rest would extend into the room, so it might also cover some of whatever's behind them. But
Okay.
no noise will come from them.
Okay. Do they have to roll anything for that, or it just happens?
No, it's an effect on the area. So it's in that 20-foot radius. No sound comes from anybody, and nobody can cast a spell that has verbal component. But the
Okay.
purpose here is that other people don't hear this inevitably noisy fight.
Okay, so you can get them, and it'll also cover Ethel, and you haven't really seen the room because there's a door there.
Mm-hmm.
But you just know that there's a door and there's something there, but it'll go into the room. You don't know how much of the room it's going to cover, but yeah. All right, so you cast silence. You hear the
Although people in that radius are immune to thunder damage, so don't anybody do thunder damage.
Okay, so you see the Mapak who's like, "What the? There's a giant!" He just starts yelling, but there's no sound coming out of their mouth. I need everybody to roll initiative. Hey, Knights of the Roll Table. This is Chris Daly, your Dungeon Master. First of all, if you have not checked it out already, and if you're listening to this, we do have a Discord server. It is a cool community where you can jump on a message board and interact with all of the cast. We regularly post on there. If you have questions about how to DM, if you have questions about the show, about certain characters, if you're trying to build your own character, definitely recommend checking it out. If you go to our Twitter at Rolltable, the pinned tweet at the very top of our Twitter profile, we'll have a link to our Discord server, or check the notes in the podcast notes on Apple Podcasts, and that will have a link to that as well. We also encourage you to check out our Instagram account at Rolltable, and also a Twitter at Rolltable. A lot of the music that was found in today's episode was provided by Weston, who was not in the episode because he and his wife just had a beautiful baby girl. So we wish him the best as he's trying to get lots of sleep. And but the music was provided by Weston's Patreon, which is Make My Anthem, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out. He's doing some amazing stuff, and he's doing some really fun TikToks as well. So check out Weston on TikTok for some fun D&D content as well. We want to thank you guys again so much for listening to the podcast. And if you want to support us, the best thing you can do, please leave a rating and review on your podcast service. On Apple Podcasts, all you have to do is just scroll down a little bit on the main page. There's a thing that says write a review or leave a rating, and it's super easy, and we definitely appreciate it. It kind of helps us get listed a little higher in the algorithm. So thank you guys again so much. We really appreciate it, and we hope you guys are doing well and everybody in your life is taking care of themselves as much as possible. We can't wait to get back in touch with each other and play in the same room, and I'm sure if you guys are playing D&D, you want to do the same thing. Thank you guys for listening. I've talked too long, so go out, but stay in and make life an adventure. So we have initiative order is Warbles, Ethel, then Ereth, then Desdemona, then Corax, and then there's some villains in between there, but you don't know where they are. So even though there was silence, it was enough to rouse the suspicion of something in the room. You don't hear it, but you just see the door open up from behind the two Mapak bandits. She looks out and says, kind of moves her mouth. You don't hear what she says, but you see this servant. She's wearing a full leather armor, studded leather armor. She has on her face kind of a bandana that's kind of wrapped around the side of her face, that's covering up one eye, and there's a couple of daggers and a scimitar on her side, and she pulls a rope that is next to her, and you can kind of look up. As she pulls this rope, you notice on the top of the room there's a little pulley system, and the rope is attached to two crates that are on the side. The crates go up, and under the crates, you see this bulbous, kind of shimmering, iridescent creature. And it is a oozing kind of mass, and there's two of them from under the crates, and they have now lost their shape, and they start to ooze out towards the tables that are there. And that is her action and her movement. It is now Warbles' turn. So to set the stage, you have on the left side, you have these two oozes that are kind of midway in the room. You have two Mopok bandits and Ethel and Benna Saradin, who you assume that's who it is, kind of on the upper right of the room. And there's about 35, 40 feet from where you guys are, except for Ethel, and kind of where they are. And it's Warbles' turn.
I say, turn to whoever's next to me and say, like, I once learned a trick from an old druid too, and I'm gonna use Conjure Woodland Spirit.
Oh my gosh.
Shit.
Conjure Woodland Spirit summons a guardian spirit, which is large size, and it appears in the form of a spectral predatory cat. The guardian spirit is large and takes the appearance of a spectral predatory cat. Any enemy that moves into or leaves a space adjacent to the guardian spirit must make a wisdom saving throw, and I'm gonna summon it like right in the doorway, right on top of where the general is right now. So each of them are in attack range.
Okay. Large giant spectral cat. They have to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, 13.
So the general and the two
Mopoks.
Mopoks probably.
So Benna Saradin, the general, failed, and then one of the Mopoks failed. And how much damage did they take?
All right, for the general, 3 damage. For the Mopok, 2 damage. Wow.
What else would you like to do?
All right, and then I'm going to activate my fighter ability and shoot arrows at the closer Mopok to me. First attack, 17.
17 will hit.
So 10 damage. And I think that's it.
Concluding your turn, it is now one of the Mopok's turns. So it, defending its general, it kind of turns to... It's going to turn to Ethel and make an attack with a short sword. That's probably going to miss. It rolled a 2.
Yeah, that's not a
That's
hit.
an 8 total. So
Nah.
it misses. And then Benna says, "Get the other ones. I can handle this." And then so it's actually going to move and go towards Corax with its movement. So we'll just put it right there. And then the other Mopok is going to go. And it's going to also make an attack at you, Ethel.
Bring it.
That's going to be a 15 to hit.
I'm afraid that that misses.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
All right, so it will stay where it is because it's going to be faithful to the general. And then it's Ethel's turn.
All right, so I've got like a couple of them right on me. I'm gonna attack the same one. The one that I hit before, that's the one that's right in front of me, right?
The general?
Is that who I hit before?
Yeah, that's... Well, you missed, but yeah.
I attempted.
You attempted to hit, so this one right here.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again.
Okay.
Woo! 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 That's a nat 20!
Hey! Nice.
So, that's so exciting! Oh man, I haven't crit on like a melee attack ever, actually. This is a first for me. So, I just am gonna roll my damage twice, right? So, that's 6. I actually have an ability though, because one of those was a 2. With my great weapon fighting, when I roll a 1 or a 2 on a damage die for an attack I can make, or that I make with a 2-handed weapon, I basically get to re-roll it, and I have to use the new roll.
Right.
So I'm gonna just do that.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 4, so that's gonna be 8 damage. And then do we double that, or do I roll 2 extra dice?
So you normally roll those 2 for 1 attack.
Yeah.
And then you re-roll those. You re-roll those 2 again.
Okay, so that's 8 damage plus. Ooh,
Lost.
those are both 1s.
No.
Can re-roll those, right? That's like as many times.
Hold on, I got the player's handbook right here. Get the old PHB out.
I mean,
Peanut butter.
sorry, but I'd really love to re-roll both of these ones.
And I would really like for you not to. So we're gonna look it up.
Oh, this is real D&D, guys. This
It
is
really is.
half the
Fighting
bot.
style, weapon fighting. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage die for an attack you make with the melee weapon you are wielding with 2 hands, you can reroll the die. Must use the new roll. The weapon must have the 2-handed or versatile property for you to gain this effect. So it doesn't say there's a limit. So yeah, you can reroll any 1s or 2s,
Okay,
but you have to take the second one.
that's fine. So 8 plus 5, so that's gonna be 13. And then I'm gonna use my spell slot to do my.
Do you have any damage added on to that, like from the
So
weapon?
divine smite is what I was gonna do.
No, I mean like does your weapon add like a +2 or something, or?
Nope.
Okay.
It's slashing damage. That's it.
Okay, so
Not a very
13
fancy
plus Divine
13
Smite.
plus divine smite is 22 damage.
Okay.
I see why you guys like these melee classes.
Ethel takes her greatsword and slashes across the general. How dare you! I forget what her accent was, so I'm just gonna...
You are not a good person,
It's like,
and
How do you-
therefore I must smite you.
how do you know that? You don't know anything about me.
Well, it's just a general feeling.
Who are you people? How dare you come in here and just attack us all at once? That's your turn?
Yes, that is my turn.
Okay,
Thank
now it's her turn.
Uh-oh.
She is not terribly happy with that, so she's going to attack you, multi-attack, twice. She has a big scimitar. That's a 23
you. Oof.
and an 18.
Those will both hit.
Okay,
Are you gonna kill another one of my characters here?
I'm just rolling. Okay, so 5 damage and 5 damage, so 10 damage.
Woof! Okay.
Not that much. Oh, sorry. 3 melee attacks. So she's going to attack one more time. She gets 3 attacks. But the third attack is with the dagger. That's only a 7, so that will miss. So she goes, slashes once, slashes again with the scimitar. It makes purchase both times, hits you in the side. She's and then she takes out a dagger with her offhand and slashes at you. But because of the instant hit that she made, you're able to kind of jump out of the way and avoid the dagger, and that is her turn. Next up
guys,
is
that was rather painful. I
next
did
up
not
is
enjoy that.
Ereth.
So there's a table to the character's right.
Yeah, so those are big, long, like banquet tables
Okay.
to the left and right of you, and then there's one kind of down the hall or down the meeting hall. It kind of looks like the head table.
Yes.
They're not adjoined. It's sort of like a couples, couples table. The
Yeah.
table. What did they call it? The sweetheart table.
Yeah, the
At a
sweetheart
wedding.
tables. Can I also just ask the things that are marked with a green and an orange? What are those?
You're not sure. So Benna
Okay.
pulled a rope on a lever, and it opened up these 2 crates on
okay, that's
your
right.
left side, and these 2 shifting iridescent, large. Actually, they're large as well. So these large slimes,
Go God.
kind of, were boxy at first, and then they sort of, kind of gelatinously kind of moved out. And they're just kind of like they haven't really moved yet, but they're moving. They're kind of just shifting in place.
Gross. And thank you for the clarification.
If you want, you can think about it and see if you know what those are.
That I would, unless is that going to cost an action?
No, that's a free action.
All right. Yes, please.
Roll a let's see. Roll a nature check. This is kind of a nature thing.
Nature. Oh boy. Oh, that robbed me of it. 18 minus 1, 17.
Ereth ponders his nature.
I look down at my belly button.
Ereth, you have traveled in the south part of the Humblewood, and in the mock fields, there's actually quite a bit of natural oozes, and you've seen some of the smaller versions of the slimes that have been very caustic slimes and smaller slimes. These look like slimes, but they are way bigger than any slimes that you've ever seen.
Right.
And probably a lot more
Right.
dangerous.
Sure. All right. Gross.
You heard about one of your when you were in the Bandit Coalition, you had a friend that stepped in one, and their foot was disintegrated because of it.
Great. So as I climb onto the table on my right, away from it, away from those things, I just yell, "Don't touch the blobs!" And I would like to attack this Mawpock that's now in front of me. 19 to hit
19 will hit.
for 6 points of damage.
Oh,
Yes,
that
exactly.
you take it out. So it
Oh.
is it is knocked unconscious, and it is.
How much did you hit it for?
6 total. But I think it was already hit. with
It was
something.
already hit previously.
Just gotta hit
You're
it twice.
welcome.
Just gotta hit it twice.
Ereth jumps up on the table, takes out his scimitar, slices down at the Mawpock, the raccoon creature, who is caught off guard because it was engaging with Corax, and stabs it in a way that it just cannot recover, and it falls down, bleeding out on the ground. All right, it is now one of the shifting slimes' turn. So
Uh-oh.
it is going to. Let's see. Wait, Jeff, where are you moving?
Hey,
You can't move away.
put that back there.
You can't move yet. All right.
It's a family podcast, okay?
Whose family, though?
Ooze family.
Hey!
Hey, Ooze family.
Good night, everyone.
Title of the
No.
podcast episode.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
All right. So the first shifting slime kind of slides over to you. It starts to run to the table, and it sort of just kind of goes right through it. You know, like it separates and then reforms. And as it's moving, like purples and blues and greens and yellows are kind of shimmering off of the sconce light around the outside, and it's moving towards Desdemona. Desdemona kind of has a chance to see this thing coming towards you, and it is going to make a attack at you. It kind of lashes out with one of its ooze kind of tentacles that sort of comes out from it. That is a 14 to hit.
Misses.
I think that misses you, yeah. All right, so it kind of lashes out. It's a little slow, and you're able to dodge out of the way. Then the second slime is going to slunk over towards Warbles.
No.
That's a 23 to hit.
Okay.
You take 10 points of acid damage, and you are considered grappled.
I think.
So you guys see Warbles try to get out of the way, but the slime just kind of reaches around this kind of slimy tentacle. His armor starts to sizzle and burn, and Warbles lets out a warbly kind of screech, and grab him and sort of wrapping around him, sort of oozing out, almost like venom style. It's like it looks kind of gross. Okay, Desdemona, it is your turn.
Is Warbles within the slime?
He's not
Or
he's
like-
not enveloped in the slime, but he's just being
It's like
he's
all
just
over him.
grappled.
Okay.
You can make a strength check to try to contested with the slime strength to try to get him out if you'd like.
It can't be that strong.
It's slime. My daughter
Yeah.
makes that all the time.
If you want, Jeff, I'll let you as a free action, think about if you want to make a check to see if you know how strong these things are.
Sure.
So make a nature check.
2.
Boy, it sure looks gross
So much
Great.
insight.
and sticky. It's sticky and gross.
Nature
Okay.
is outside.
Here's what I want to do. I'm going to start with
want-
a bonus action to cast Shield of Faith. I'm going to tap my hand on the back of Warbles, and
Okay.
I'll give him +2 bonus AC for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes.
All right. So you basically touch his head, which is not enveloped yet. You're like, "Good luck, friend."
Good luck.
It's like,
Best of luck. Cheerio. AC edition.
That's
Shield of
much
Faith.
better.
And then I will cast Hand of Radiance. I will again grab my badge, which I made myself, and I will hold it up, and it will cast Radiant Light Energy. And I can, each creature of my choice within 5 feet. Are both of the slimes within 5 feet?
Yes.
All right, then I will attack both of them. Say, back, foul slimes! Illegal use of controlled substances. And they have to make a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 damage.
Okay. Con save.
Con save.
Gosh. One of them rolled a 2 plus 5 is 7. The other one rolled 16. What was your DC?
16 saves. I rolled a 1, so it takes 1 damage.
This one seems fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to do that again.
Desdemona puts her hand in the air, and this kind of shining, shimmering, radiant light spears out. It seems to pierce into one of them, causing a ripple in this kind of iridescent, shimmery. It's almost beautiful if it wasn't terrifying. It seems to hit one of them. The other one sort of just absorbs into it with no effect. It just, okay. That's your turn?
That's my turn.
All right.
Nice.
From behind the captain,
Uh-oh.
you see the door open,
That's not good.
and someone that you have, and actually the only person that really sees this is Ethel, and a Vulpin female, the one that got away
Oh,
from you
no.
earlier, Frey Meridian, comes out and says, "What's wrong then, love? You got some problems?" And she kind of says this to Benna, and Benna says, "Stay back. These foul creatures. I have to get rid of them. They're from."
Guys, it is that woman from earlier, Frey Meridian.
"No, I know these people. They tried to capture me. I will get them." And she runs out, and seeing the first person that's right there is
And gets hit by a cat.
is Ethel. So she'll get hit by a cat. So do I have to roll that or
Wisdom save.
a wisdom save? That's right.
Dungeons and Dragons.
She rolled a 7.
Oh, D6 damage. Coming up. 6 damage.
Yeah.
Oh man, she really got hit by that cat.
Meow.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all part of it. It's all part of the magic, guys.
It's not that funny.
Yeah. Who's laughing?
Probably my wife.
Can you tell her it's not that funny, please?
She's on her own call right now. She's been on phone calls for work all day. She's probably delirious from having to talk to people so much.
Hey, I get that. Makes a lot of sense. That's how I am by the end of the day.
I just talked to a
Okay.
5-year-old and a puppy all day, so.
So it's like
What's the-
normal then.
Yeah.
So she takes 6 damage, and what the heck? What is this cat doing here? and she turns, and she is going to make 2 scimitar attacks at Ethel. First one is a 17
Nice.
to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, and a 19 to hit.
Those will both hit.
Okay, so that's 12 damage total, slashing damage. Okay.
So Ethel is like, "Oh, guys, not feeling so good."
Okay. All right. So that is Frey's turn. And then Corax, you are up now. You have a dead Mopok in front of you, so he poses no threat. But
Is she?
well, he's unconscious. But then your friend Ethel is up there, surrounded by some enemies, and also a giant cat.
Remind me, kitty wise, does the cat attack friendlies?
No.
And I'm gonna attack her.
Frey, okay.
Yep. So I'm going to I'll attack with my short sword.
Short.
Which one?
I'm
I
gonna
can
attack
s-
my sword.
I can say
Hey, boss,
words,
you want me to get out my short sword? Take
Yeah,
this
watch
guy
it.
out for you?
and that's gonna apparently miss because I got a 9. Great.
That will miss.
And then I'll roll another,
She parries it away.
and then I'll attack with my dagger. 23.
Oh.
It's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, here. Let's see how much damage I get out of it.
Poke.
3. Hey, that's not bad.
3 damage. Okay.
She ducks my sword. Nice.
Kind of stab her in the back. It just it kind of slashes her. The dagger doesn't stay, but it just kind of goes right in and it goes out of her leather armor.
End turn.
All right. So top of the round is Warbles is up.
I think we probably technically missed some cat attacks, but if you want to just do those on my turn, then wisdom save for the general and the Mopok.
So they will roll another con save. The first one rolled an 8. The
15 DC.
Benna rolled a 9, and would it hit Frey?
Yeah, but we rolled for her when she came out, so we don't. Well, actually, this is a new round, so yeah.
A new round. And she rolled a 5, so all of them take damage.
So first one is a 2, second one was a 6, third one is a 1.
So I just imagine this giant cat is kind of like walking around, and you know, when a cat's really defensive and it's kind of poofy, and it just goes whap whap whap, kind of like whaps its paw and smacks at everybody, and it, you know, just doesn't like. And all these people are like, giant cat. So that's the giant guardian cat's turn. Now it's your turn.
All right, this may be slightly unwise. I should probably just try to get away, but I'm going to shocking grasp the slime that's on me.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
Shocking grasp against the shifting slime.
That's a 14 spell attack.
14 will hit. So it's still holding you, but it's going to take damage. So go ahead and roll damage.
7 lightning damage, and it cannot take reactions this turn.
Okay.
I will also, as a bonus action, cast
hold on.
Healing Word. Healing Word on Ethel.
What is your healing word? Like, what is the actual word?
Warbles.
Music is magic.
Are you like
Warbles!
Oh, magic orb!
Warbles casts Healing Word on Ethel. Also, when you cast Shocking Grasp, which is lightning damage,
Yes.
the shifting slime all of a sudden turns a vibrant yellow.
Ooh,
Did you self-electrocute?
that's
Like,
weird.
because if it's water-based, it probably conducts electricity, and you probably electrocute yourself.
I'm fine.
He's fine. It just turns yellow. It is now yellow.
It's a non-conductive gel.
This is confirming. This makes me think of pee. Concerning.
So it
So,
changes.
How
it
much
changes to
did that
yellow.
healing word, though?
7.
7. Oh, that's nice.
After Warbles is the surviving Mopok bandit. It's going, not liking the cat, it's going to move over to the other side, kind of leaping off of the table. It's very nimble, and it's going to attack Corax. Ethel, you would get an attack of opportunity against it.
Dope! I want to do it. Let me hit it. Let me hit it.
Okay, you can hit it.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, that hits.
7 damage.
7. Right, still alive. All right. It makes it over there, but takes a hit along the way. It's kind of limping, and it's going to attack Corax. That's an 18 to hit.
18, yes, that hits.
Okay. You take 7 slashing damage from its short sword, kind of slashing at your robes and a bit of your arm. And it is still alive. All right, Ethel, it's back to you. It's your turn.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna slash at the so now the guy, what was it? The Mopok. He ran by me. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna smack at the deer chick some more.
Okay.
That's a 19 plus 5 is gonna be a 24 to hit. Man, this dice is being good to me tonight.
Okay.
I assume that hits.
24 will hit.
Okay. That's gonna be 8 damage.
She winces at the impact and is not too happy about that. All right. And now it's her turn. Once again, she is going to make 3 attacks at you. First 2 are with the scimitar, and the third is with the dagger. That's an 11. That's going to miss. A 19.
That's gonna hit.
Okay. That is going to be 6 points of piercing damage.
Woo!
Slashing damage. And then the dagger is going to hit with 22.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 5 points of damage.
Okay. I'm like standing, but I'm wobbling, and I'm like looking like I'm about to go down. Like,
All right.
Warbling.
This is not good, you guys.
She is going to, and then use her movement. Let's see. She actually has a 30-foot leap ability.
What?
So she's a deer, and she's gonna leap. Boom.
It has to be into a car window.
She's actually gonna leap over several of you, over Frey, and onto one of the banquet tables, and kind of landing like almost superhero style. It's just like
A 3-point landing.
Point landing away and kind of turning around and kind of looking back, Black Widow style, kind of gritted teeth. Right about that point, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. The recording computer that was recording the stream paused up, and we didn't actually see the notice until a little bit later. So we lost a few turns of combat, and here's a brief summary from what I remember from what happened. So Frey Meridian was able to successfully knock out Ethel, who is the ostrich, played by Jen, and she was knocked unconscious, fell to the ground. One of the oozes continued to cause damage to Zach's character, Warbles, and several other people moved around. I believe they took out the additional Mopok bandit, so he was knocked unconscious, and some of the other attacks happened. I think the ooze was hit by Jeff's character, Desdemona, and that's about it. So what's going to happen is we're going to pick things up with Warbles' turn at the top of the next round. Jen's character is unconscious on the ground, and things have been very tense after just a few seconds of combat. So we apologize for the loss of a few minutes of playtime, which equates to about 6 seconds of combat. But we're going to pick things up at the top of the round. Warbles has cast Thunder Wave while he is being restrained by the shifting slime, and it causes quite a bit of damage and knock a bunch of the tables away in the surrounding area. And that's kind of right where we're going to pick things up, right in the middle of me describing what is happening because of the Thunder Wave. both of them get pushed back. All of the tables and some of the plates and serving platters that were on the banquet tables get knocked over, and you see like utensils and everything just. It's almost like just this whole kitchen exploded. The serving dining room. Benna jumps off of the table. She has enough dexterity to kind of like land on her 2 feet, but she lands on another seat that's kind of in the back corner. And then Frey also gets hit by this thunder wave, but she is knocked prone. She kind of bounces off the wall and lands on her back. So she is currently prone. That is Warbles' turn.
Nice
I
turn.
will also give Bardic Inspiration to... I want to check to see if it's usable on death saves, but that'll take time. So I'll just give Bardic as Inspiration to Desdemona. So you can add a D6 to something.
I don't believe you can give Bardic Inspiration to somebody who's unconscious.
Please don't
Well, then it won't be
die.
useful. Desdemona have a
Don't
D6
die.
to roll.
All right.
At your
Desdemona has Bardic Inspiration. Don't forget. Ethel, make a death save, please.
14.
14 is a success, so you have 1 success.
Yay!
Woo!
All right, it is Benna's turn. Benna is going to go up to... she's going to kind of leap off of the throne that she landed on. She's going to run up to Ereth, and she is going to say, "Wait, you look familiar. Do you have a sister?"
Yes, I do. And I'm here to get her back.
Oh, yeah.
You better stop. Just everyone stop what you're doing. If you cause any more damage to me, if you kill me or you kill Frey over there, then you're not going to get this one's sister back. So I suggest that you stop.
Can we huddle up and discuss that?
Can we leave? If
Just like we'll just hop out of the slime here, and we'll just run over the options.
That is her turn. She's
Hey,
not going.
well,
She is not going to attack. She is just going to stand there, looking at Ereth, kind of very intently in the face. She's kind of holding her scimitar strongly. She's kind of holding her action, waiting for your response. So she's holding a turn, but she's not going to attack. Kind of based on what you say. So now it's Ereth's turn.
Point of order: when the green dot slime was pushed back, did it get into range of the giant cat?
Oh my gosh, with the giant cat.
I checked. It's within 5 feet. Oh, of the face?
It's like 15 feet away.
I don't know how cats work.
Well, actually, it is a large creature, so yes. Yes, it is.
Kill it.
So
Wisdom save.
that's a 1 minus 2, so it's a -1.
Ooh.
It's not very wise.
Or it rolls over and it's the most wise possible.
It's a slime.
4 damage.
All right. So this cat sees this kind of, shifting slime kind of moving around. The cat turns and goes, whap! Just kind of smacks some slime off of it, and it kind of blobs on the floor. All right. Now it is Ereth's turn.
I look at everybody, kind of look around the room, and I look at her, and I say, "It's a real honor to meet you, General." And I lay down my scimitar in front of her, and I just have my hands up like that as I come back up.
I can't say it's an honor to meet you. It seems like you are the prickle pants that left. We thought you were dead.
I thought I was dead too. Yeah. Technically, you all left me, and didn't bother to take me, so I left.
Hey, if we're gonna stop to talk, can I get out of the slime?
We'll get to you in a minute.
All right.
The slimes do not follow my command. They are of their own free will.
Cool.
Anyone
I'll
of the
just be over
Bandit
here then.
Coalition are of their own free will. We captured them, and
Oh,
they are
great.
defensive mechanisms. So you got yourselves into this. You can get yourselves out of it. But I am talking to this one because I believe that you came back for a reason. You came back to get your sister. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah. Can't Can't leave home without her. Can't leave a place I'm escaping from without her either.
So what's it going to be? The rest of you going to throw down, or are you going to put down your weapons?
Well, as previously discussed, I'm just going to hang out over here.
Corax is not going to put down his weapons, but I won't attack. But if anyone attacks, he is going to cut someone.
Let's see. Desdemona is going to look at Ereth and just be like, "Is this for real?"
It's for real.
Desdemona puts her mace down.
I just sort of like pull them away from pointing at the prone fox.
At Frey.
Yeah. So I'm not putting them down, but they're not pointed at anyone.
Frey
Sort of
makes
like,
a hesitant look at Benna next to her, and Benna kind of gives this kind of like ease down, hold back, don't do anything command, and Frey puts down her scimitar.
Benna, General, do you mind if we help our downed friend?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
Can you
I'll
do me a
go
favor
over
and
to
get rid of
medicine.
that cat over there?
Warbles?
All right. Release
I'll
the
tell
cat.
you what. Let you, Pricklepants, come over here with me, and she kind of nudges you, or she kind of motions you over to where Warbles is being held by this big slime, and
Great.
and with the two of you, you're able to pull Warbles out of the slime's hold.
Ah, there you go. You all right?
Thanks.
Yeah, I know. They're gross. Are you missing any
I
limbs?
released- No, I think I'm good. I'm kind of sizzly all over everywhere.
And then
I'll lose concentration on the cat and disappears.
okay. Benna kind of gives a look to Frey, and Frey goes over to. She kind of timidly, carefully walks over to where that other rope was, and behind it is a little box. And she opens up the box, blows a whistle, which none of you can hear, and then the slimes kind of do like this sort of polyhedron, kind of like spiking kind of blah, blah, have you ever seen Fly to the Navigator when it like kind of goes into different shapes, the ship thing? So they kind of ease back into where the crates were, and then she pulls another rope and the crates go back down on top, and then so they are hidden.
But,
I'll heal if I can go out of turn.
Go ahead and roll your hit points.
7.
Oh boy, that was not good.
Hey,
That
welcome
was-
back.
Oh,
You're all right?
They're still here. Did we win?
We're in a bit of an impasse right now.
So Benna walks over to her chair. I'm just going to say, for the sake of time, all the rest of you kind of line up on the other side of the table. Frey kind of stands next to her, and she goes over to Benna, and she kind of, looks at her and says, "Are you okay? Do you need healing? I can grab something from the room." And Benna says, "No, it's all right. Calm yourself. It's fine. I'll be fine. They're not going to do anything else. I believe we can negotiate." So, you snuck in here. You attacked my men. No doubt, probably killing some of them. Well, I mean, you killed those two over there. It's quite unfortunate it has to come to this, but I'm imagining that the council sent you, probably for my head. They want me dead. They want to stop the coalition.
Desdemona casts a Zone of Truth.
Okay. What do they have to roll? So we're currently done with
Charisma.
initiative.
Charisma.
Okay.
It's like everybody within a certain distance. Are we in that spread?
I think it's everybody.
Yeah.
15-foot radius.
Yeah, so that's everybody. So everybody roll a charisma save.
Nat 20.
Oh, good job.
Okay.
I can lie.
You can choose to tell the truth, or you can choose to
I got
lie.
a
It's up to you.
3.
Cool.
As per
Frey rolled
usual,
a 15,
here.
but Benna rolled a 7.
That would fail.
I rolled a
Fit.
16.
16 succeeds.
Does 15 succeed?
Succeeds.
Just,
Okay.
just 3?
No.
General, I'm here, and I believe you can relate to this and be sympathetic to this, but I would be willing to do anything for my family. These folks were kind enough to help me, and they do have an agenda of bringing back something that proves you're dead. I don't want to have to be the one to kill you. I can't speak for all of them, though.
Well, that doesn't hold very good for me, does it? I mean, I can't very well let you kill me.
Remind me of what they said we could bring back. I swear there was a thing.
It was
The
the
sword?
sword, wasn't it?
Her sword.
Yeah. And
Well,
and
You
she's
could just
holding
give us the
this.
sword.
She's holding
You-
this runic kind of gold sword with a silver blade. It's a beautiful sword. It's got this kind of like owl hilt on it on the very end. And she says, "My sword. They want my sword."
No, they want you, and you can come with us alive. We'll take you in. You'll get a fair trial and processed through the order of the law.
I mean, I want the sword. The sword would be nice. It's a cool
I
sword.
just want people to not get hurt, and it sounds like the things that you're doing, you're taking from people and hurting people.
Well, listen, I don't know how much you all know about the Bandit Coalition. I mean, we're defending ourselves because we feel that the Perch Guard is not doing what it's supposed to do. It's giving up. It's letting the humble folk fend for themselves as the birds live up in the trees and away, and while the fires are consuming all of the forests, and they're not protecting, they're not doing their part. So we're fighting back. If
How
the
dare
Perch
you? The Perch Guard are the #1 best, super awesome, most aggressive, and righteously serving protection force in the whole realms. This is
Hashtag
ridiculous.
Perch Guard Lives Matter.
You made an application for them, didn't you?
Of course I did.
And you haven't
Desdemona,
gotten it.
yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you, Desdemona, but Benna's right. I mean, they do tend to neglect us.
Well, you're criminals, you're outlaws, bandits. I mean, I've been a bandit myself. They accept it. If you turn over a new leaf, they've let me go about my business.
Yes, we will accept even birdfolk as well as humble folk that are not happy with the way that things are being trusted. I mean, the council.
You pay well?
We pay what we can, but people do this because it has to be done, because it is the right thing to do.
I don't suppose there's a way that you could make your point without hurting people.
We don't want to hurt people. You have to understand that.
Well, neither do we, but people are
well.
getting hurt.
It seems to happen sometimes when there's bellies to feed, or when we have to take back some of the resources that are needed, when we have to rescue people that have been taken. And she puts her hand on Frey's shoulder. Frey kind of puts her hand over it.
It's a connection there.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. 12.
12. They're Benna, at least, is not able to hide anything. She is showing genuine affection of some kind, towards Frey.
I mean, are you
All right, well,
trying to
listen,
tell me
the-
that
what-
these are the good guys?
There's no good or bad guys. That's the reality of the world that
But
you don't
where?
see.
Okay, look, Pickle
You
Pants.
don't all see up in
you,
birdfolk.
we could have had that talk outside before I got swallowed by a slime. Okay, so do you want your sister or not? Maybe
I
we can
almost
talk about that.
died.
Yes, please.
I thought your sister was held captive. Did I misunderstand?
She is not being held captive. She is being held in a quarters. She's not in our brig, our prison. So if you allow Frey to go get her, I will bring her back into this meeting room, and you can see her.
Was she allowed to leave prior to this?
We
General,
She wasn't allowed
can you
to
give us
leave.
your word that Frey will not bring us any harm if you allow her to go and bring back Prickle Pants' Prickle sister?
she looks at Frey, and Frey's like kind of giving her a look, and she nods her head and kind of shakes her head no, and she says, "I give you my word." And I don't know what that takes, but I will make sure it's in this same building. You probably didn't see it; it's hidden quite well.
Well, it's worth more if it's in the zone of truth, so I'm fine with that. You all fine?
Well, I'm still concerned about the fact that we're saying that that she's not a captive, but she was not able to go earlier.
Well, she wasn't able to leave because we really wanted her help. Your sister is quite powerful with magic. You have to know that.
Yes, she is.
And we thought that she could train some of our other, some of the other bandit coalitions that have some magic affinity to be able to defend themselves, to be able to stop the fires.
Consent is pretty cut and dry. If somebody says no or I do not want to be here, then you do not have their consent, and therefore you are not good people.
Well, but
Ostrich has
also
a good point.
when we are desperate, when people are dying, and when there are fires, let's be honest. I mean, your sister and you joined from your own free will. You only wanted to leave when she only wanted to leave when she couldn't find you, and we said no, you have to stay because you made a commitment. And look, it's I know it's hard to understand, and you all being birdfolk yourself, but I don't hold that against you. I mean, listen, I don't know what I can do to convince you that. I mean, I'm not trying to say we're good, bad. We're not good people. I mean, we've done terrible things to survive. We've tried to take care of our own, but if you just expected the Bandit Coalition to give up and expect the birdfolk to protect everyone, including us, they're not going to do it. They're only going to care about themselves. And if you can promise me otherwise in this truth zone that you put up, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that they're going to protect. You tell me right now that they're going to protect all of the humble folk that are in the roots of that alderwood tree.
I promise. I believe wholeheartedly in the Perch Watch. There's no way they will let you down. It's a law. They have to protect all citizens. All laws must be followed.
It sounds like maybe we need to just have an open dialogue and conversation and voice these claims and these complaints in a rational and empathetic manner.
Why don't we go get his sister?
Yeah, why don't you know what? Why don't we just send one of us to go grab her, and then that way you can stay here and it'll all be hokey pokey.
Warbles, make a charisma check.
There we go. Just charisma, persuasion, performance, anything?
Persuasion.
Check. Persuasion. What's up? I'm a bard. 18.
About 5 years ago, I was a mother, and we lived outside of the Ashborough.
We lived outside of the Ashborough.
What are you doing?
I'm a bard. Sorry, it's hard. It sounded very heartfelt. I could just like kind of plunk along if that's okay.
I'd rather you didn't.
Okay, I gotcha. I'll just write it down.
The fires that started from the grove, they took over We asked the Perch Guard for help. We sent emissaries. We sent people to stop. Nobody came. The fires got worse. We couldn't leave. My husband, he didn't make it, and my 2 children, they weren't able to get out in time when the house fell. I was knocked unconscious and someone saved me, but they weren't able to save the children, so
Who saved you?
she looks over at Frey. Someone I'd never met before, who told me about the Bandit Coalition and what they stood for and what they were planning on doing to do the things that needed to be done to survive, that made sure that we would protect ourselves. The humble folk would protect themselves and not rely on these Perch Guard. We placed our faith in the police, so to speak. I lost my family anyway, and I vowed from that day to not let it happen again to any other family.
So what's your plan to take over? How do you win?
Right now we're just trying to get by, but we eventually want to move out of the Humblewood, and we know that there are humble folk that live in the Alderwood that we want to extricate, and we want to go north into another realm.
What if we helped you do that under the condition that you don't steal from anybody else or hurt anyone else?
Except when necessary.
We're only stealing and hurting to survive right now. It's hard to get rations. People don't want to deal with us, so we have to do it under the guard. If you can promise, if
My family has a farm. We are brewers, so we also make really good beer. But we have land and crops, and I would be happy to share whatever I can with your people and help you possibly relocate to somewhere else where maybe supplies are a little less scarce.
Well, that's very kind of you. Ethel, make a persuasion check.
Oh my. That's a 6, but that's an 11.
11. Okay. She says, it's very kind of you, but we have many forces spread across the wood, and I don't believe that one farm would be able to sustain everyone. Now, in order for us to stop all of our activity against the Perch Guard and the avian forces, as it were, we would have to have assurance from the Birdfolk Council, from the Alderwood Council, that no action would be taken against us as we send an invitation out to all the humble folk in the Alderwood if they want to come with us. If they don't, that's fine. They can stay there.
You're offering to take all of the humble folk out away
Out of
from-
Humblewood.
General, I don't think there's any better spokesperson to do it in front of the council than you.
Ereth, make a persuasion check.
Can I?
We'll be there to back you up.
With advantage. I'm saying everybody is on this, so you can make a persuasion check
Desdemona.
with advantage.
Desdemona's like, no.
With advantage. That's good. That's good. That's better. It's only +1, so 13.
Okay. What do you think? And she looks at Desdemona. She says, I know that you know the Perch Guard. I know that you probably don't like me. Do you think I should go before the council? Desdemona, I need you to make a persuasion check. This is essentially a skill challenge to see if you can convince Benna if it's safe to go before the Alderwood Council to make her case.
10. Would have been a natural 20, but I got exhausted on the ride up here.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right. That's what I thought.
You break the
Desdemona.
law, you have to answer for those crimes. That's how it works.
Des, I feel
What?
like I feel like maybe the law is missing the point here. This might be your opportunity to improve the Perch Guard by helping them see a slightly wider lens than they've seen before. They're just missing the big picture, and you could help them see better.
If their punishment, Desdemona, if their punishment isn't jail, but if the council agrees that their punishment is banishment, that's what they want. Wouldn't that be a good thing for everybody?
And
Well, I
it's
guess-
by the law, Desdemona. That's pretty lawful sounding to me.
Well, if that's what the council wants, then I guess that's what the Perch Guard will enforce. But I can just say what is here today, what the laws are now.
We can guarantee you that we will get you there safely and that we will vouch for you, but we can't speak for the council. We can't speak for the Perch Guard. If they choose to take matters into their own hands, what are we to do?
Everybody make a perception check.
Perception.
And those of you who still have disadvantage from the climb, don't forget you have disadvantage.
From Miley Cyrus's The Climb.
It's the climb.
5.
Well, that's a 1.
Okay.
Perception?
1. Perception.
14.
10.
21.
21. Okay. Warbles hears the creak of wood and turns his head, and he sees a mophawk standing in the back. Kind of the shifting silence gets the rest of you. You notice he's turning his head. The rest of you turn around. The mophawk kind of stands ready to run, and you know that these guys can move. Benna says, "Wait, I need you to do something for me."
Corax has a dagger, like, ready to throw.
Wait. Soldier, I need you to go and get the girl that's in the barracks, the East Barracks. The hedge magic user. I need you to bring her to me in here. Can you do that for me? And he nods and he walks away.
He didn't
So?
talk because that costs more money if the actors have a voice roll.
It's an extra.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll be right back. Bye.
Oh, man.
And now his lines are going to get cut.
Yeah.
The voice of Benna is also voicing the Mawpox as well. So it's actually the same. So Benna says, "Well, your sister will be here in a minute. I'll tell you what. If you can get me there safe, I will release your sister from her unfortunate
Containment. Mm-hmm.
We have not caused any harm to her. I just want you to know that she's completely unharmed. She's been well fed. She has not been treated unfairly in any way.
Well, I thank you for that, General.
Of course, she might not be, cooperative with what we're asking her to do, but we still consider her family, and you can know that family can be difficult. So, I'll tell you what. I will go with you to the Alderwood Council, but on one condition. I'm not under arrest, and I will be allowed to leave freely. If they do not comply with my demands, I want to be able to go, and I will leave and be exiled and not come back to Humblewood.
It's fine with me. I'll even stop the guards if they try to arrest you when we get there. I'll give you some cover so you can scamper.
I will support this decision as well.
Des?
Desdemona, listen, I understand you have an unwavering moral compass, and that is what I really respect about you, but we are in a situation where we have to do what will do the most good for the most people.
The needs of the many. Something.
something.
Well,
something. Let this criminal go.
Well, put it this way, Desdemona. You've been following the letter of the law all these years, and they've not let you onto the perch guard,
Odd.
right? Yeah, all this time. You've been doing everything supposedly by the book, right? Well, if you do this one thing, it's kind of like you're thinking out of the box. You're doing one thing different. Maybe this is the one different thing that you can do to get on the perch guard finally.
Maybe they're looking for some initiative, leadership potential.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, you take this role of this leader and you show this initiative. It's a great idea.
An initiative roll. Yeah.
Desdemona, I just think that this is the best choice that we can make for the most amount of people. And isn't that what the law is there for?
You said it yourself, Desdemona. It's supposed to help the most people all the time.
Aren't the humble folk people?
Do we not bleed?
I mean, we're all humanoid. All of us.
What's a human?
You've got fingers on your feathers, just like I've got fingers on my hooves. I mean,
We've all got
really
thumbs.
weird.
Ew.
At that moment, you hear a voice in the back of the room. Ereth?
I turn and I see Roxy.
There is a strong family resemblance.
Ereth, what are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
Nope, came to get you. Can't keep me down very long.
And then she kind of punches your shoulder and she says, "Don't you ever die on me again, you stupid brother."
Ow.
And she kind of puts a finger at you and zaps you. She does a little cantrip like.
Promise. Got it.
She said dead.
Eri.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Who are you with?
Oh.
Are you hurting the general? Or did you fight her?
No, I mean we sort of did. Yes, yeah. I killed a couple people. Well, it's not important. We'll talk about it later.
What?
Don't open that box over there.
Yeah, those boxes are weird. Remember those things by the river? Remember the little oozy things?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the
there's some-
slimes. I've seen
Yeah.
them. I've seen them. Yeah.
Yeah, there's big ones in that.
You fought those?
Yeah,
Oh, those are deadly.
I know. We killed one of them.
Those
Dead.
things are huge.
Yeah.
They'll get you, and they change color depending on what kind of magic damage they do you do
No.
to them.
I know.
Oh, that's what was happening there.
Not me. I killed one of them.
Look, if you hit
It's
it
easy for me.
with the fire damage, it's resistant to fire damage for an hour.
Oh, would have been helpful to know.
So, are we going to do this? I'll go with you. But I'll tell you what. I'm going alone. All of my people here, if I don't make it back in 2 days, then Frey is going to take all of these people here and head north.
Smart.
Now you think that is acceptable?
But if I am able to come back, I want to come back with supplies. I want to come back with some of the people that I will be able to talk to. At the Older Wood, I want to make my case to any of the Humblewood that would be able to listen. That's what I'd like to do.
We'll get you to the council safely, and then we'll get you back, General.
Des, your feathers are sticking up all funny. We doing this or what? Or are we just going to stand here and talk the whole time? We
All
can't
right.
arrest them. We're inside her fortress. Too late for that. What are you going to do? Pace a little bit if you need to.
She does. She paces like back and forth with her really long legs. Like,
I mean, technically, you're kind of outside your jurisdiction. Oh, there it is. Why do you look like Mick Jagger
Give her a
impersonating
minute.
the song right
Give
now?
her a minute.
It's only 2 steps, but it's all the way across the room. It's crazy.
Des, if you want, we could knock you out and tie you up so it seems like you were along for this this idea.
Maybe
Or
that's
so,
what we
like,
should
you
do.
weren't?
Tyr, wise and all-powerful Lord of Order,
Yeah.
Wise and all
hear
powerful
my
Lord.
praise. Hear my
His
prayers.
praise.
I praise to you and hear my prayers. How do I serve you, Tyr?
Are you talking to
The
hold on.
Lord Tyr, Tyr.
You hear this kind of inner voice speak to you, and it says,
Aren't all of our creatures in this world meant to be given a chance? Let this one go, my child. Let your misconceptions open up to new possibilities.
Very well, as thou commands. We'll take you to the Elder Council.
Also, on your resume, you might want to
Should I not make
change
it?
the font. It's too small to read, so
8 points is too small?
it's very small. I mean, I'm up here in the pantheon of the gods.
Right, so
you
you
can't
can't see it.
my divine sight.
You're very far away.
So I can see all kind of things, see all.
Okay.
mic drop. All right. Benna kind of nods at you and says, thank you for giving me a chance. And she starts walking out with you. You guys, as well as Roxy, Ereth's sister, make your way out of the camp. As you make your way out, you see other people start to see Benna with all these random strangers, and they pull their swords, but then she kind of gives them an all clear. And I'm going to be walking out with them, and they all kind of look confused, and she kind of says like, no, this is the beginning of something that will change one way or another. This is going to change the Bandit Coalition for the better, I hope. So you guys make your way to the Alderwood Council. It takes about a day's journey, and you're able to allow Benna Saradin, the head of the Bandit Coalition, make her case to the Alderwood Council. And your mission is complete and has kind of taken a different tone than you thought it was going to take, but you're able to safely enact some change, hopefully for the better, for the bandits as well as for the birdfolk. And that's what we're going to call our one shot.
Yeah, I
3
dug it.
cheers for David for playing with us. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
Hip hip.
Huzzah!
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you
Thanks,
for letting me
David.
play with you
Thanks.
all.
Thanks for staying up so late.
We're so
that
glad
was
you're able to
fantastic.
join us
Yeah, so much fun.
during this weird quarantine time that we're not able to get together, but it's allowed us to try to get together in
Yeah.
different ways that we weren't able to do before. So
What a
Thanks
weird
again.
time. What a weird time we live in, huh?
what a weird
Yeah.
It
time.
is really, really
So
fucking
Playing
weird.
D&D with birds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
birds and
What's up?
porcupines.
Birds and birds. Birds and
What's this
dragons.
birds? What's with these birds?
So thanks everybody for listening, and hopefully we will be able to revisit Humblewood at some point. But we want to thank you guys. Stay safe if you're listening to this. If we're still on quarantine lockdown, everybody stay safe, and we will see you next time. And don't forget to go out and make
No,
life
Make life
stay
an
in.
adventure.
Stay in and
I mean,
make
no,
life
stay
an
in.
adventure.
Stay in and still make life an adventure.
In your mind.
Yeah. Social distance while you make life an adventure.
Yes.
And we're gonna unload here, and you're gonna head on back.
I mean, I just heard Alexa say stop. I think that was Mark yelling at Alexa.
Oh, it's probably because he has a timer for the pigs in a blanket.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Great. Okay, that's fine.
We made enough for
Hey,
everybody.
this is the challenge of recording at home.
Good. Now he has to send me one. He has to send me one.
in the
That
You're
mail.
is-
gonna in like
Yep.
a week. You're gonna get like this shriveled little
Yeah.
moldy. Like
Yeah.
little-
Tiny
Yep.
wiener.
It
Come on,
looks like a
vacuum-
rotted finger.
Vacuum
Yeah.
seal that.